Good morning and welcome to another episode of Chamber Chat. Today we've got Bett Jewel. She's the Gibson County Director for the Carl Perkins Center for the Prevention of Child Abuse. She's located here in Humboldt. And good morning, Bett.
Good morning, Amanda. How are you?
I'm great. I'm just going to let you roll for a little bit and ask you what you've got going on right now. I know you had a Boston butt sale going as a fundraiser, but tell me about that and what else you've got going.
Yeah, absolutely. That's wonderful. Thank you for that opportunity. So, as you all know, we've all been hit when our fundraisers have taken a pretty hard hit. But every year we have an annual Boston butt sale, and it's always the Saturday before Father's Day. So it's a great time to buy one and use it for Father's Day meals or whatever, or they're great to freeze for the 4th of July or whenever. But anyway, every year we have that annually, and we typically have about 100 butts to sell. That's been online. It's been on our website. It's been on Facebook and things like that. And you could actually just go and click and purchase online. That comes off today. But we do have 15 or 20 butts that we still need to sell. They're $35. They're wonderful. We have a great cook, Michael Landrum, and he's known for perfection. So they're always good. And that's a fundraiser that we've been able to keep intact. So that's very important for us. So if anybody still needs something for this weekend, we'd love for you to give us a call, 784-7500, and we'll get you down for one of those that we have remaining. Okay. So that's something that we've been able to keep in place, and that's been a good thing. Good. Other than that, with our center, we have our annual telethon coming up, and that's on Sunday, August the 16th. The telethon has changed this year, and it's been, how many years? I can't remember how many years the telethon's actually been going on. A lot, almost since the inception of the center, actually. So it's usually at the Civic Center, but all municipalities in Madison County, Jackson, have been closed indefinitely, so we aren't able to use it. We have found another venue, so we're going to keep that event in place. I think we're probably going to air it from 1 to 5. It's not going to be from 1 to 10 as it usually is. So that's changed a little bit, and that's going to look a little bit different this year, but we still have that in place and looking forward to that because that is the biggest event that we have for the year for all of our centers, 20 counties wide. So it's a pretty important thing. We've been able to keep that in place, so that's a huge blessing for us.
Oh, good.
And
so we'll have those flyers up. You'll send me those, and we'll have the flyers up about the telethon.
Absolutely.
We'll hit that pretty hard before that started because we know that's you guys have got to have those funds coming.
Yeah, and that's really important. And we like to showcase those who help us throughout the year at that event too. Just say, hey, here's what folks are doing in Gibson County for the center, and to protect our children and keep our children and families safe and intact. So that's just a good time for us to showcase those folks and to get folks to reaffirm their pledges, continue that, or maybe make new pledges. So that's going to be a good thing as well. And Amanda, I know you're aware of this, but our Gibson County leadership this year put into place the High Five Club. And so that's something that we've started to use center-wide, agency-wide, so that'll be something also that we see a lot. So it was the High Five Club, Gibson County Adult Leadership, and that was a way that folks could pledge to the center and do something for us annual or monthly pledge that, kind of would go, it was $10, $10 a month, $20 a month, whatever you could pledge. But our the Carl Perkins Center West Tennessee wide has incorporated that, and that's going to be something that we get to showcase a little bit at the telethon as well. So I'm proud of our Gibson County Adult Leadership class.
I knew you had a great class. That was a really was a really good class last year, and so I'm proud of them for doing that.
Great class, great folks, and then it was a class that said, "Hey, what can we do to help, and how can we help?" And so that's a question we get a lot, and so there's a ton of ways to help the center. As you know, Gibson County is unique. We have 3 locations: Trenton, Humboldt, and Milan. The Humboldt Center is our largest center, and we're co-located with Child Protective Services here. A lot of our services go out from here. Our service providers are housed here. So it's a larger center, and we do a lot more here. But all 3 of our centers, same services, the same thing. We do the same things at all of them. But we have a food pantry, and so folks are always coming to us. That's an important thing that a lot of people do annually. Yearly we'll have donations dropped off. That's very vital. It's very helpful to the folks in Gibson County, and a lot of people come to us for food. And we also have bears. Every child that comes in the center gets a teddy bear, and so we have a wall in our center that's in all of our centers. Actually, we have a supply of bears, but every child leaves with a bear. And so we have some groups that get together and just do a bear drive for us. And that's always a great fun thing. Some children's groups do that, and organizations, maybe daycares or some schools will do that. And then some other clubs as well. So those are always needed. And that's always something that we can use. Other than that, we take volunteers. And so you can become a volunteer with the center. There's a volunteer training that you can go through and actually help. Some things that we do with families that we need folks to help with. Sometimes we just have some things in place and some families need a little extra help. And if we had volunteers that would go through our training and commit to doing that, maybe a parent aid or a super friend or something of that nature, there's a program for that. If folks just say, hey, I'd like to get involved and really be hands-on. So that's a process. And then also we do volunteers just as well for anything. We have things that need to be done around the office a lot. And we internships is a great way to get involved with the center. We've had many interns that have come through with their college program and they graduate. And at the bachelor's level, we've hired them on, and then they continue and get their master's maybe, and then continue on with the center and even become directors someday. So there's a lot of ways to get involved with the center, and we just always want to open that up for everybody in the community that says, hey, I'd like to do something to help our folks in Gibson County.
I should have done this at the beginning, but let me back up just a little bit and tell what the center does.
Okay. Well, the center does all things child abuse related, but our area of expertise is dealing specifically with severe physical abuse and child sexual abuse. So we have specialists that deal with those things. They're very, that's their area of expertise. And so we are that. But we work with a child protective investigative team that's made up with our district attorney, law enforcement, child protective services, mental health, medical, juvenile court. And so a lot of those folks, and we come to the table every month, and we look at every case of severe abuse that's come into Gibson County. And we look at these children and say, hey, what's going on? Is this child safe? What needs to happen? And we make sure that things are continued. Our victim advocate works with children and families all the way through the court process, which can take years. So we have all those folks in place, and it's a great team of folks. I mean, really, we all come together and we challenge one another and make sure that all the T's are crossed and the I's are dotted, because it's really, really important. Yeah. So as a result of that, we see a huge reduction in recidivism rate for kids who come back in for the same allegations. So it's very successful. It's proven. It's used nationally. We're a nationally accredited center, so we're held to a list of standards, and they're all pretty comprehensive. Right. So it's a great group of folks that come around and do that. So that's one thing that happens at the center. We do forensic interviews on children to get their stories, and that's used in court. And the forensic interviews are they're structured so that a child comes in and hopefully tells their story one time. They don't have to tell it anymore. To prevent further traumatization of the children. So that's a great program as well. So forensic interviews, trauma-focused therapy, victim advocacy, and then we have a relative caregiver program, and that's probably our largest program. So in 20 counties, we partner with Department of Children's Services, and that's a program that's structured to help those families who may take in those relative children. So it might not be their biological children. They've taken other children into the home, whether it's a grandparent, aunt and uncle, sibling. And that program helps, to support that family with maybe some unforeseen needs that they have, or Christmas or school needs or just financial needs. So that's a great program that we partner with the state on there. So we have a lot going on.
They do have a lot going on. So if you're looking for, if you as you're personally or your family or your industry, your business is looking for a nonprofit that's really making a difference in Gibson County, definitely, give them a call at the Carl Perkins Center. Give Bett a call. If you're looking for a way to volunteer, if you're looking for, something to do worthwhile in your spare time, that you couldn't find a better group. We love Bett. Personally, we love Bett, but we love the Carl Perkins Center as well. So we're going to put up some numbers in the post below this. If you've got questions, give her a call. She gave you the number earlier on. But I want to thank you, Bett, for coming in and telling us about the center and what you've got going on.
Yeah, thank you so much, Amanda. I appreciate the opportunity.